right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and we are rejoining Doomsday Aftermath as the heroes try to pick up the pieces after Superman and the Justice League were wiped out by Doomsday. Now, Steel has come back from turning himself in to the authorities. You guys had gotten into a scuffle with LexCorp Securities, who President Johnson has personally signed an executive order giving them legal authority to help with the cleanup and martial law efforts to rescue and keep peace during these trying times. Steele walks in, and everyone instantly sees an even more uh, determined jaw line of steel on Steele's face as he has a very serious countenance and walks through the doors. Steele, what do you say to your team?
We have agreed, or I have agreed, that we should work with LexCorp. They will pardon us from all wrongdoing, and under the leadership of LexCorp and President Johnson, we will be founded the new Justice League.
I don't even know who LexCorp is, so let's do it.
Wait, who doesn't?
Memento.
Oh, Memento?
Like,
yeah.
Literally Memento.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Orwell's calculations.
Yeah, he's doing his scans.
Vocal transmitters on the fritz. Recommend using digital display. Attempting repairs on vocal transmitters. It takes a while for you guys to notice, but Orwell has a flashing LED display in front of him of holographic lights that he is projecting from his chest reflector.
I think your analysis might be flawed there, Orwell. We do not know, as this is a new step for everyone. But we will have a gear that we desperately need, and the official authority as Justice League.
I do wonder what else they would prioritize if that were the case. If that analysis is correct.
Well, hell, partner, if they're gonna make us legal, well, let's do this.
So, did they give me any information about what, like when this would happen, when I signed the papers or whatnot?
Yeah, they're gonna be by to help you guys clean up, they said.
Alright, sweet.
Take custody of your prisoners, etc.
Alright, sweet.
You're still decrypting that. Wayne Tech is no joke. And he doesn't trust the Justice League enough to, like, give them full access. Batman is well known for like keeping secret files on Justice League members and not allowing them to have access to all his stuff.
Well, here's the question: does he know that Wayne is Batman?
No. I'm saying for the purposes of explaining DM to player
Oh,
why
okay.
it's taking so long. Cuz he can crack into just about anything, you know. But Wayne Tech stuff is next gen. Super kawaii. Gator says, besides, if Lex does anything we don't like, I can always just bite his head off.
I give him a look, Gator. We do not do that.
He winks at you. Or, it is good to have a backup plan. So yeah, it,
Okay, did Nightwing take off with the mother box, or did he leave the mother box?
yeah. So Nightwing hasn't taken off just yet. He listens as you say this, and he turns around and he says, "Steel, my friend, I understand the decision you have made. However, I cannot, in good conscience, stay behind and work for Lex Luthor while Gotham is suffering." And he turns on a news broadcast. Gotham has had 3 major arsonist fires last night while you were dealing with the LexCorp lawyers and all of that. Um, Gotham is burning. There's looting, rioting, and it is said that the Joker is at the head of all of it. And so he has to go back to Gotham. But he understands what you're doing and wishes you luck. And with that, the future of Metropolis is in your hands, Steel. And he reaches out his hand to shake your hand.
I shake it, and best of luck to you, Nightwing.
Also, I'm taking the mother box.
What?
Wise decision.
Yeah. I'm going to take all of the scavenged Justice League technology that we found, and I'm going to keep it safe. Contact me if you ever need anything, and I trust I can do the same.
Of course.
And with that, he gives you a secret transmitter that should be able to bypass even LexCorp's securities jamming and all of that. That should be able to contact him if you absolutely need it. And then it's a double way. One end of it activates your signal, and the other end of it is to let you know that the other signal has been activated.
All right.
But he only gives it to you because he only trusts you.
I'm okay with that.
He doesn't trust the people you're working with so much.
Probably for the best.
One of them is a psychopathic murderer, and then there's Dark Patriot.
Who's the psychopath?
and not it. So as you guys are, all saying your goodbyes, Nightwing's, kind of giving all of you like a little bit of advice. He's like, prosperity, I don't really know you, try not to be so stuck up. Uh, Blink, if you don't slow down and enjoy life every once in a while, it can pass you by pretty fast. Memento, I know it can be hard, not knowing where you are or what's going on. But trust me, I've been there. I've been adrift in the world so long. I've had to find myself so many times. You are in there. Just keep doing what you're doing and you'll work it all out.
Will do.
Orwell, I got this virus protection software for you. I want you to take it. I want you to run this once a day and just, you know, de-power and let the virus encryption software do its thing.
Is it Norton 2016?
Yeah, this is Nightwing uh securities software version 2020.
Oh, great.
And so he's got it on a little thumb drive thing for you to like upload and uh debug yourself with. Good. I I hope you're gonna be okay, Orwell. And with that, he disappears like Batman.
Ta-da.
Whoa, where'd he go?
It's something I'll never get used to, but Batman did that too.
He is hiding behind the dumpster. Yeah, he's like right there. He couldn't have gotten that far. Like, I don't give a fuck that you're a ninja. Like, yeah, sure, you can disappear, but you're still just hiding like somewhere close by. That's what's so weird about those scenes is like that's what's happening. Like literally he's just like hiding behind the couch. Like, awesome, Bruce, you're the best. Oh no, where'd Batman go? We can't find him. And then Orwell's just like scanning. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it's cool to have people like not understand how you disappeared even though you're just behind the dumpster. So, as you guys are dealing with all of that and you're just like, oh, whoa, that was heavy, getting some real advice from Nightwing. That was some life advice stuff from someone who was raised by like the Batman. you know that's that's some real deal Holyfield shit right there. So you guys hear a ring at the door.
I'll go towards it. Hello?
Oh, we're here from LexCorp Securities to collect the fugitives, captives. What are we calling them?
Criminals?
Criminals. Sure, let's call them that.
Yeah, so the one to the right, or to your right is Gigawatts. He is electrical-based supervillain, and to the left over there is I guess you could say, spa ninja type person named Kira. It's a guy.
And what about this one?
Which one is he pointing at?
That's Pimp Gator.
Yeah, that's Gator. He is officially with us now.
Huh. All right. So, the first one, he goes over to Kira and he's like, "Listen up, captive. I'm going to open this door. You are to face the wall with your hands above your head. Any sudden movement will be met with lethal force as authorized by LexCorp Securities and President Johnson." And he opens the door, and Kira is compliant. And he says, "Yeah, that's what I thought." And he walks over and he secures some power band shackles on Kira's arms behind his back and walks him out front.
Have a nice trip, miss.
Now, the LexCorp. Oh, why? Kira bursts out of the shackles and murders all of you. Teabagging you like total Call of Duty style or Halo or whatever it is. Fortnite, whatever game you kids are playing these days.
All the games.
All of them. All of them have the teabagging. All right. Oops, they're not in there yet. So the gunners stand outside, and the captain, he's like, "All right, listen up, Shocky. I'm going to open this door. If I even so much as feel a hair stand on end, I will blast hot plasma into your electrically charged ass until you are nothing but an electrically charged pile of dust. Do I make myself clear?"
Sounds good.
Are you answering for Gigawatt, or would you like to play Gigawatt?
No, I was just shocked to hear that.
Oh, oh, this guy is a no nonsense kind of guy. He doesn't want to mess around. He opens the door. Gigawatt is sitting at the table. He says, "Up against the wall now!" Gigawatt is sitting at the table. What are you guys doing anything or no?
Um, I peek in there. Does it is he even moving as he's sitting at the table?
Nope.
Or is he just
Nope, just sitting at the table.
and he's not said anything?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to approach him or say anything.
We don't know Gigawatt's true power, so I'm thinking, that might be a hologram or something. I'll move past him and go over and touch Gigawatt.
As you cross into the room, your robot parts, your cyborg parts, begin to malfunction. You feel a magnetic pull, and suddenly everyone right here has to make a what would it be? Strength
Strength or fortitude, whatever you want
yeah,
to do.
strength check to avoid being pulled in by the magnets.
You said
Urgh.
fortitude.
Strength. Steel.
My gears are grinding my
Wait,
hardly.
would I get pulled in though? I don't really have any outstanding
No,
metal.
you're fine. Plus you weren't
Ah,
right
my bad.
in the pulse. Orwell
Gotcha.
has to save though. All right. Orwell and the two gunners are pulled in, Steel is not, and suddenly an electromagnetic field goes up, sealing the room. Nobody can get in or out, and Gigawatt is ready to strike. Not as ready as the gunner. The other one was caught way off guard. And then Orwell, go ahead and roll initiative. Although the electromagnetic field is causing both you and Steel and the gunner's cybernetic parts to malfunction slightly. Like
You want
you're okay for now, but as the battle continues, you're gonna like suffer more and more ill effects.
so no conditions right now, but conditions eventually.
Yes. I just wanted to make it clear right away, you know what I mean?
It's like bzz, bzz, bzz.
Yeah. Otherwise, like, you're like, hey, what the hell? You know, we were winning and now you just pull out some shit.
Electricity. It's a fecal beast.
Yeah. It's like, no, I was always planning on pulling out shit. I just wanted you to feel good a little bit first.
Thank.
I was always going to crush your spirit.
You wouldn't be a good GM if you didn't.
That's right. Well, I wouldn't be a good supervillain if I didn't at least try to escape. I gotta try to escape, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, then, this is my last chance. These are LexCorp assholes. Like, these aren't some buffoons like you where I can continue to try to figure this out. These are real deal Holyfield guys that are going to dissect me. Oh,
Robots
yeah,
don't get offended.
Gigawatt was just buying his time until he could get one of you, like, in here. Now, he only has the rescue body in here. The real Orwell is not in any danger. Oh yeah, I want to introduce a mechanic for that where like you have a limited supply of energy and using your hydraulics burns it up. I don't know. Just play as normal for now. I'm just doing like a note to self when I go back and rewatch this and like look for things I can do. Yeah, you can try to pick up the table. I mean, you can pick up the table, but you gotta hit him with it now. As you swing on Gigawatt, suddenly his form becomes pure electricity and he zips into the light fixture at the top of the room and he is now inside the wiring of the room. The LexCorp gunner doesn't know what to aim at and turns to Steel and says, "What do we do?"
Blast down the light fixtures. All I got.
Orwell, remember, only your body is in here. You still have your other unit outside that can still do stuff. Your yeah, well, it's your mother box. It's your main brain computer. You're not in the body. The body is just being controlled by you.
So yeah, just like blast down the light fixture and blast around it to cut the wires.
Orwell has isolated all of the wiring in this room. It is no longer connected to any of the other wiring in the building, so he can't get out that way.
Blast it.
All right, so he tries to shoot the wiring and just blasts a hole in the ceiling with his plasma cannon where the light fixture was, and sparks fly everywhere, and an electrified version of Gigawatt is now floating in the air.
All right. Not knowing any better, I'll leap up there and punch him.
Ah, that's that Justice League training. Have you tried punching it harder? And then,
The damage is weird though, but okay.
why is
Should
it
be.
only a 2?
I don't know.
What's your thing?
It should be 24.
24. Huh. I guess I'll have to take a look at how it's set up on the sheet and figure it out, but yeah. Should be right. Oh, 2 degrees of failure. You connect with his electrified jaw, and for a moment it becomes solid as you punch it.
Yeah, other than that, it's like, blast him!
You're in the way.
Wait, hold on. Aha! So yeah, I got moved by attack, so I'll step back.
Gigawatt unleashes a lightning bolt at Steel.
Now, his should be +5 to that because you have a +10 to the
Oh,
damage.
I see
Instead of
that. Yeah, I
+15.
haven't fixed his. Yep. 23.
What?
2 degrees of failure.
Yeah, okay. Yep, okay. Boo.
The lightning crackles into Steel, and you can feel your cybernetic parts sparking with overcharged energy. It's not great. It's not great. Meter beat, so he hits for 23. Nope, for 18. Ooh, one. Wait, -2. 12. 2.
Yay!
Orwell.
At this point, could I run in and join the fight?
There's an electromagnetic shield all over the room that Gigawatt is generating. It's the only reason he hasn't fried these suckers yet is because half his power is used to keep them sealed in here.
Gotcha.
That's what he's telling himself.
But you do have ranged abilities.
That is true, but I can't see him with my current line of sight, so I'm gonna run up to the barrier.
It crackles with energy, but you can see through it. Is there a fire sprinkler in here? Yes. I I I don't know what you have. You're asking. Well, I mean, yeah. It doesn't take a whole big Google search to know that
I
most of.
mean,
Go ahead.
surely that would put him in danger as well for the
Well,
same reasons.
well, yeah. Orwell's body might be in danger, but it is designed to be like all terrain. Like it's not an underwater capable thing, but like it's supposed to be able to handle a little rain.
But wouldn't it get electrocuted if there was like a puddle?
But Yeah, who knows what could happen if you fill a room with water with gigawatt in there. I know what you're saying, but I'm the DM. I have to not point those things out.
Sure.
But now that you have, yes, you bring up a very valid point about introducing water and electricity into an environment with your cyborg body and your or with your android body and your cyborg buddy.
Um,
Ru-
if while
Running
he's doing that,
simulation. As you run the simulation, you instantly get a spread of most likely scenarios, and you find that it is likely that either Gigawatt already has the electricity in him that would automatically trigger if you release water, or would use an electricity attack that would potentially affect everybody in the water.
if
It
I'm gonna
it
try my
runs
range
an
attack,
it runs an analytic of your suit and says that although you are proofed against like minor shock, that enough water and electricity will surely fry your circuitry. Okay, what were you asking?
sorry. Should I roll for initiative if I'm gonna try my range through the barrier?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's a great idea if you could like get Gigawatt in there alone. You just miss. Gigawatt forms into energy and your fist goes right through him. The LexCorp gunner steps back and tries to blast him, but you're in the way. But he doesn't care. Oh, and he misses. It goes wide and misses both of you.
All right, I'll move up there and do a move by and try to punch him again and fall back.
You know, slowly but surely, Gigawatt is becoming your guys' arch nemesis. Oh no! Steel keeps punching me, that asshole. That does not look good. Oh. It's fortitude, right? Or toughness.
Toughness, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I rolled that right. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's what you like to see there. That is what you like to see. A nice solid fail by 6 degrees, just or five. A 5 degree failure and a nat one to bring it down to 0. So normally when you uh knock someone out with a 4, they're knocked out. But you are experiencing some malfunctioning software
I'll
cybernetics.
I'll use a hero point not to kill him.
Nice. Because you are using your hero point not to kill. You are now level 10.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
And you get 10 power points.
Oh, sweet.
Otherwise, you were about to kill
Yeah, I figured that.
him. Yeah. I was telegraphing it a little, But yeah, so there you go. You knock him out, and LexCorp takes him into custody. All right, so I think that's about it. The rest of the LexCorp androids help you guys pack up all of your stuff, and we head on over to LexCorp.
Oh, I guess we travel. They wanted us to go back with them to escort the prisoners, or was it something else that we're supposed to do after they got the prisoner?
Uh, yeah, no, you guys all go together. Like they brought a bunch of androids to help.
Okay, sweet.
What is going
Ooh,
on? I thought I already updated all of these. Was I not connected at the time? That is
that's
some
possible.
nonsense. Oh,
That G Purdy.
that is just killing me.
So I guess Gator is actually in his disguise.
Yeah, yeah, Gator brought his disguise. I just wasn't gonna update him until you guys went. Yeah, like I specifically remember changing his size and everything. Damn it. Come on, roll 20. Get with the program. You guys can't see either? Oh man, it didn't do any of the
I can
updates.
see. I can see. I guess.
Oh, okay.
I can't
But
see anything. It's all
yeah,
black.
Okay,
yeah, they
gotcha.
can't.
Gotcha. On it in 1 second. I swear to everything that I did all of this. Like I specifically remember doing this stuff, so I don't know why it is back to this. Okay, double checking sites. Yeah, yeah, there it is. Oh my god.
Hey, I have vision.
Oh, looks a little bit bigger than the other place.
This is LexCorp, baby! Welcome to the big leagues! So a LexCorp Android, after you guys are, you arrive Okay, so here, let's take this from the beginning. You guys are down here. All right, so you guys are walked in by a LexCorp android who's showing you around. Please follow me to your quarters.
I follow it.
And as it's walking, you guys pass by a blonde woman in a white suit who looks like a super.
Photon. I'll
Yep.
wave.
She looks at you guys and notices that, you're all superheroes too, obviously, and gives a little smile and continues about her business.
So Orwell just walks up to her, scans her. Come on, Memento.
And now you pass by someone. He is a huge hulking man with rippling muscles. He has dark hair and a red cloak cape. But this is not Superman. This is some other hero, super. And as he walks past, he gives a big smile. And he says, "Hello there, friends."
Hello, who must you be?
She is not in the database. She is Photon. I'm Mr. Amazing. Surely you've heard of me by now.
I'm guessing not.
Actually, Orwell has several articles on him. Lately, the Daily Planet can't stop talking about him. Yeah, for the last 2 days. It's been nothing but Mr. Amazing is the new Superman. Ah, trust me, it's far more flattery than I deserve. I'm just trying to do some good and help the people in this time of crisis.
Well, Mr. Amazing, I'm glad you're on our side.
Haha, and I'm glad to be working with all of you. You stay safe out there. And he just kind of floats off. Yes, indeed. I work with LexCorp Securities. They have provided us with all of the best data and equipment we could possibly need to do our jobs out there. They keep heroes safe and they rescue civilians every day. Good day to you. All right. So, you rookies will be sleeping here in the rookie wing over here. So just pick a bunk.
I will say, like, the outside of this facility, is it like, was it just kind of like a warehouse or kind of like
It's
some sort
a
of?
it's a massive concrete building that looks like a cross between the Pentagon and an airport.
Okay. I will say I don't have sight now for some reason.
You have thermal vision, right?
Yeah. Hey.
Blink runs and checks out every single room and says, "I call this one."
No, not too bad. Not too bad. Definitely
Is this
sparking
a
this.
computer?
Yeah, it's a computer that
Ooh.
has access to not only all of the police databases, but also to some federal databases that allow you to look up all kinds of information on all kinds of recorded supers and other terrorist threats, as well as LexCorp daily briefings and technologies and all of that. Also, under all of your beds is your welcome kit, which includes not only changes of clothes, socks, blah blah blah, toothbrushes, hygiene supplies, blah blah blah, bedding, blankets, all of that stuff. But then also it has a flash drive on it that has a specific welcome package just for you, and uh, all of you have a welcome message from Lex Luthor himself in hologram that plays when you plug it into the computer, and he welcomes you to the team. He says he's looking forward to working with you, and then he shows you like specific things about the LexCorp facility that would appeal to you. There's laboratories, there's workout facilities, there's training facilities for like practices and danger room sparring type scenarios. There are libraries of actual books as well as databases containing every book that's ever been uploaded anywhere ever. Um, a virtual library that is so comprehensive, he calls it the new Alexandria. And yes, the Lex is capitalized. And and yours doesn't have a toothbrush, but it does have a selection of minor adjustment tools, micrometers and wrenches, and a selection of hydraulic oils as well as lubricating oils, buff pads, and everything that you need to like blow out any dust particles and all of that. Yeah, and then you just go Johnny 5 on that shit. More data. Brrr. Yeah, rub, rub here, scrub, scrub there. Whether you're tin or bronze.
So I don't remember when I started getting called Memento. Was that something that the team came up with, or is that something that I remembered?
You know what? You can't remember.
Maybe you did it while we was all asleep. You just put that in our brains.
Or
Because my
maybe
first
they
thought
started
was
calling
to,
you it.
Yeah.
yeah, my first thought would be to Google that on this new computer, search the archives and whatnot to try and figure it out. But I couldn't remember if
Uh,
I knew that that was my call sign.
well, you don't really know for sure. Like with most things, you're half remembering it, and it's all a foggy haze. And so you do indeed sit down and begin to Google Memento. And the first thing that comes up is that it was a movie from 2000, 20 years ago, directed by Christopher Nolan.
That I would just keep looking if that was the only result that came by at first.
Well, no, I mean, there's tons of other results, but like
Right.
that's your top result right there.
I'd choose to watch the trailer.
Yeah, so you watch the trailer and it looks like a weird movie with Christian Bale and uh a couple other actors, but Emma Thomas, but it doesn't wait, is that also who's in it? I forget who's all in it.
You're doing great so far. This is good movie trivia that you know.
Yeah. Uh and you watch and it kind of seems to be about a guy who can't remember something, and you're like, huh, and he's tattooing things all over, and so immediately you begin to check yourself for tattoos. Do you find any?
That is a great question. I do. Well, first, the first one I find on my wrist in the same spot from the trailer is just the word memento, which helps me feel better because I know that that exact is actually what I go by. And then there's a date on it, and it is roughly a year in the past. So it was 2019,
Man,
August.
that's a long time to get a like fan tattoo of a movie. Like 20 years later, you're like, oh, dude, put the memento tattoo on me.
Well, I was thinking that the memory problems started happening at that time.
Right? No, I'm just, it's just
Not like a fan tattoo.
okay. So you find that, yes.
And then I keep looking, and I don't really find anything else. So it's just the date that I have. And I try my best to recollect what that actually means, what that date means, but I can't have nothing immediately comes to mind is the
Yeah,
significance of that date. But now I'm sort of, I look at the computer and realize that it is 2020, and so this 2019, um, it is 2020, right?
yeah,
That it is a year in the past, so I realize, okay, this isn't something that necessarily happened in correlation with the whole Doomsday event. It's something that perhaps has been happening for a while. And
Yeah.
for the first time, it's sort of a glimpse into what's going on, though still very vague.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So, um, while that's going on, everybody else, got their welcome package. Steele, would there have been anything special in your welcome package? Like they would
Did
know
you?
you the best, obviously.
Oh yeah. Unless you want to go down a rabbit hole of members that might be still alive, maybe a photo op of the Justice League Detroit era team or something like that. But other than that, he's kind of been in hibernation since the end of that time.
Yeah, so maybe they have like something to refresh you and get you up to speed with everything that's been going on.
Okay. So all the Justice Leagues through the years.
Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of gives you like a complete rundown of, where the team has gone and what has happened with everybody and, who's doing what and, powers, etc.
Okay. Be like, who's this other Green Arrow Condor Hawk? Who's this guy?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. There's like a whole bunch of stuff, especially like once you get into continuity and all that, like holy crap, like they don't even know where to begin, with half of that stuff.
No, but maybe through the week I'll talk about like what kind of happened between now and then, like major events that actually did occur rather than us just assuming certain things occurred. So I'll get with you through the week and we can make a list
Sure.
of things that
Sure,
has happened. Okay.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay. And so the LexCorp android, waits outside your rooms and says, "I am here to help you with anything that you could need."
I like this robot more than Orwell.
That's
Wow.
because I am not intent on killing people.
Does Orwell hear this?
I don't know.
So since we do have access to this computer, like, is there any like emergencies or any like bulletins that was posted today or anything of that nature?
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff from like all over the globe. This is literally like a top of the line research facility that has all kinds of like federal clearance now thanks to President Johnson. And so they have like information on every terrorist group from around the globe and like all their movements and activities, as well as like all of the up to date like police reports about like uh any kind of rioting and all of that, because like it's not just happening here in Metropolis. It's happening in Gotham, it's happening in Middle City, it's happening in small town, it's happening in
Everywhere.
Coast City, all over the place. And so everybody's freaking out, and like the oceans are in turmoil too, and nobody like really knows what's going on, but like some people do know what's going on, but like you guys know what's going on. At least Steel would. Aquaman is dead or at least missing in action, and oh no, he was one of the confirmed dead. So
Yes.
So Aquaman is like dead. He was keeping the peace in the oceans, and now there is civil war as new contenders rise.
Yeah. So yeah, so um, oh, it's the robot. Like, well, what's the general like protocol or alert for action that what they need is to do something?
When you are ready, you will be assigned to a team and a project.
Okay.
Gator's like, oh, I forgot to grab a room. Is there anything I can do for you?
I guess do we have to make a meeting or an arrangement to meet Lex Luthor?
Lex Luthor is extremely busy. You will meet him when he has time.
Okay. So I don't got anything else other than just perusing the Justice League history.
Yeah, and you get a pretty thorough one, everything that's public knowledge at the very least. So yeah, there's a day quarters out here for you guys to like relax in and everything, some more computers and you know, all of that. This is the housing quarters. You guys will live here, train here, do your thing here, and if they need you, somewhere they'll send you. They have other areas in the building though, a laboratory and facility. There's a warehouse, but you guys don't have clearance to get into the warehouse.
Um, you said there's kind of like a danger room or simulation room.
Yeah, over here.
Okay. Unless no one else has any plans, y'all want to do a simulation?
Let's do it. I got nothing to do.
All right. LexCorp Android. How do we set up a simulation for the the danger room?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mislead you into thinking that it was like a complete like Star Trek danger room. No, it's just like it's got practice dummies and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you can practice with your powers here safely.
Gotcha. So, okay. Sheesh. Hey, I guess Orwell, why don't you check and see if there's any information on that gang we got information on last time?
Yeah, so the Diamante crime family is a well-known mafia family that is very brutal and has taken over all of Metropolis and by extension the East Coast. They're very wealthy and have their hands in a lot of legitimate businesses. And that makes arresting them even harder because they're able to launder and hide a lot of their illicit activities, as well as they have a lot of legal activities going on as well, and it's all just tied in together, and it's very difficult to like pin anything on them because of this. But there's always things happening. You know, whatever crime is happening in Metropolis, the Diamante gang is almost assuredly making a profit off of it somehow, some way.
Yeah, I think it was like before we went to Justice, the Hall of Justice, and had our incident that there was something about going to the docks to investigate or find someone of the Demontes.
Yeah, I mean they control all of the docks.
Maybe Memento, you can, steal some memories from somebody and get more information.
Yeah. Do we have someone?
Oh, we'd have to go collect them first.
I can't promise I won't accidentally turn them onto our side.
Let's try not to do that, but
I'll try my best.
Everyone
but
I touch just becomes my friend.
so unless someone has some other agenda or something else they would like to do, I'm up for that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you guys start to walk towards the door. Where are you going?
We are going to do some surveillance on a no criminal activity.
Unauthorized missions are not allowed.
Okay, I'm going out for a walk for fresh air.
As you move towards the door, suddenly Mr. Amazing is there in a flash. Whoa, friend, where are you off to?
To stroll around the area to get some fresh
Oh,
air.
no, no, no. You haven't finished your acclimation yet.
What do we have to do to finish our acclimation?
You need to be trained in the LexCorp security protocols and mission objectives.
Okay. Please help me get up to speed with those if you don't mind.
Well, I mean, I personally won't be your instructor, but I'm sure you will come along very quickly.
Do you know who our instructor is?
I'm afraid I don't have access to that, but all of us were trained, here at LexCorp Security's headquarters before we were put out on the streets.
Okay. Let's see. Orwell, can you see who our instructor is?
Orwell has a full itinerary for you guys that includes training, uh, lab testing, powers testing, um, all kinds of stuff, as well as any of you who do not have a college degree are now fully enrolled in LexCorp University and are like getting your diplomas. And your trainer for today is one of the androids.
Okay. I guess we'll try to find our android and get this started.
Memento, you are being given a temporary ID by the federal government. What name do you choose?
John.
John
Nice and
John what?
yes. John Doe. Because I don't know who I am.
The name John Doe cannot be taken.
Derek. Derek Mario is my name.
You have already confirmed that your first name is not. Please confirm the last name of Sure.
Confirm.
No, you can have it be whatever you want. If you want John Doe, you can have John Doe.
Let's do John Doe.
I do think that there might be some conflict with the government if they were like, we're going to give you an ID and then you choose John Doe, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably wouldn't appreciate that very much.
But yeah, so now you for the purposes of working for the federal government have a social security card and a name under the name John Doe.
Very cool. The beginning of my identity.
You're also being tested for high school equivalency diplomas and in being enrolled in college.
I was waiting for high school questions.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah. No, I wasn't gonna test you, the player, you know. Like I don't care if you have an high school education or not. But yeah, so you'll have to make an intelligence check in order to see if you pass the high school equivalency.
That's intellect.
Yeah. You test so high above it that they decide to also just give you a associate's degree and now you're just working on your bachelor's.
Oh, very cool.
Because they can do that because they run LexCorp University.
Right.
So now John Doe has a driver's license, a high school diploma, a associate's degree in mathematics, and a federal deputization as a licensed superhero.
Very cool. I'm becoming a real boy.
And that's all just in your first day.
Yeah.
Steel, there's only one thing that's like on the agenda for you first. They want you in the testing room pushing as much weight as you can. Yep.
Alrighty.
And they just continue to increase the weight of the hydraulics until you just can't take it anymore. So what does steel max out at?
His strength is none. So that would be 12 tons.
Yeah. So they mark all of that down. They're like, 12 tons. Now they want to measure your psi of your punch. So they break out that measuring machine, but it's like a 50x one that has to be trucked in with a massive forklift, and it sets this massive punching machine down to measure your punch, and the ground just reverberates when it sets it down. That's how big and heavy this thing is. So they want you to hit it as hard as you can. But as you know, you can't just max out like you can with weightlifting and all that. Weightlifting, it's just a matter of putting the effort into it, and you either can push it up or you can't. Punching, every punch, like you might get a little more into it or a little less into it. So you're gonna have to actually make the attack to see just how high you register on your actual punching power scale.
Okay. So here we go. Oh, okay, I have to have a target.
Just punch Memento in the nose.
Whoosh!
Yeah, I can take it.
Ooh. I guess Steele felt like it wouldn't be honorable to hold back and not show what he was capable of. You hit the machine so hard that for a second it looks like it's about to error out.
Well, that should only be a +8, so still 28.
Oh. Well, then, I mean, it's still impressive, but
Yeah.
it just keeps going, and so, the first line obviously shoots up instantly. The tens number shoots up, the hundreds number shoots up 900, over 1,000. The thousands number stays at 1 but continues to roll over 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2,000. 1, 2, 3, 4. It just continues to rise until it reaches. You wouldn't happen to know it off hand, would you? His maximum psi per punch.
No.
Yeah, well, let's just say that you're punching somewhere in the 6 to 8,000 range.
Sweet.
Wait. Nope. Hold on. I'm doing some math. Let's assume that Francis Ngannou lifts 500 pounds. He punches at just shy of 1,000. So, using that, you would have shot through the thousands, and then those started to go up 10,000, 20,000, 21, 2, 3, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 24,000 pounds per square inch.
Impressive.
So yes, Orwell, I guess you could say it's over 9,000!
I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit it so hard um that for a second there was a shock wave as you broke the sound barrier, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive. Don't quote me on it. I'm not a super scientist that has all that information like on hand, but like 24,000, that's got to break the sound barrier.
Sure, we'll go with that.
I would be pretty surprised if it didn't. And for sure the impact either way created like such a thunderclap. Just crack, 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 boom. Like that's a punch that could take a wall down.
Yeah.
So Memento, what was your power again? You want to get up there?
Um,
You want to get up there? Give the old punching bag a go. See where you measure.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that strength, man. Let's see this punch. Ping! You like walk up and you hit it, and the first thing I want you to roll fortitude or will to see if you like react to hitting your hand that hard. Because have you ever like punched a wall like a solid 2x4?
Right.
Like it don't feel great, you know. All right, so you don't have to react if you don't want to. You can just like take it like a man. Uh, but you punch it and like it hurts, and
Yeah.
the numbers roll over, and you're glad that they at least get to triple digits. And so you're going up, 190, 200, 3, 3, 1, 3, 7, 3, 9, 3, 10, 3, 11. And that's where it stops.
Better than I. I'll take it.
You're like, hey, whatever, man. And then Orwell, they already know what your capabilities are, because you're a standard issue rescue bot that they've had research with. Somehow they have Cyborg's designs on all of this. Whoa! What? I'm sorry. You only get to 311 if you are a trained striker. So that's your call. Are you a trained striker and it's surprising to see that you get up into the 300 range, or are you a regular human? Memento?
Sorry, what was that?
So
It was cutting out.
a regular human punch is way weaker than that. So unless
Yeah.
unless Memento was a trained striker somewhere in his past, you wouldn't necessarily know that by doing this, but LexCorp would know that you punched way above a average human and that you had martial training. So have you had martial training in your past, or did you punch way weaker than that and I just misspoke?
I can't recall having any specific training. No.
Okay.
And in the fights in the past, I didn't have some inherent.
Oh, you do have martial strike 1? If you have martial strike 1,
Ah,
then you have
I,
training.
But
Yeah.
he
there we
doesn't.
go.
He doesn't remember.
No, you don't have to. You
Yeah.
don't have to remember it, right? Yeah, no, you don't have to remember it. Just like somewhere in your past, you must have had some kind of training. I was just
Yeah.
going off of what I get. Like I usually punch around a 200, so I was like, if he's any kind of.
Yeah. Well, my strength is 0, so I got really lucky, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This character is great for my first time role playing. I can just say I don't remember for things I don't know the answer to.
Yeah. Well, and also like, you don't have to worry about the fact that your strength is 0. Like I'm not some super strong guy or anything like that, but I can still, throw a decent enough punch. It's all just about getting your hip into it, and
Right.
it's more about speed than it is about like muscles. Right,
Oh, I see.
exactly. Exactly.
Ah,
0
okay.
strength means you're an average adult male.
Cool.
So of course Gator gets up there and gives it his all. He's gotta try and show off here. Ooh, yeah, he hits it, but it's just nowhere near as strong as he was hoping. It does, however, get up to around, you know, 12 to 1500 or so, somewhere in the range of like any heavyweight fighter in the world would still be like, holy shit, he hits hard. Yeah. So that completes, pretty much your first day of assessments and all of that. Does anybody have, anything that they want to, go over with the LexCorp androids and all of that while they're still here measuring you?
Do they have any sort of like mental strength tests beyond just intelligence?
Uh yeah, oh, well, I mean they're gonna test your limits. Like you're gonna go through basically like SEAL slash spy training in the next like week.
Gotcha.
Like that's what they're all about here is making sure that the heroes that they have are ready to go out and do the job that they need to do. So yeah, if you guys don't have any questions or anything like that, then eventually you guys, are turned free for the remainder of the evening. You're fed and you have a few more hours before lights out. And now sitting around in the day room is a couple of the other heroes as well.
Ooh, a white Batman.
So what do you guys do?
So we're allowed to go outside like we were trying to do, right?
No.
Or we're still waiting. Okay. I'm gonna go over here and talk to Photon.
Hey there, sugar.
Hi. So how did you join LexCorp?
Well, I was just a southern girl, hanging out and wearing Daisy Dukes and cowboy boots and uh dancing to the scoots and then one day my powers just manifested and suddenly I was able to do all kinds of wonderful things and I said, "Well, mama, I got to help somebody with these powers." And so I went and I tried to help and I got myself into an awful trouble and LexCorp came and helped me out and took me under their wings and showed me what to do and now I'm a real hero.
And what are your powers exactly? How did you learn about them?
How dare you?
Oh,
Don't you never ask a girl about her powers. Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
Just touch her hand and steal it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll reach out to shake her hand and say it was nice to meet you, Photon.
She pulls back.
All right. Well, then I do the awkward thing that you do when people don't shake your hand, and I look over to to Mist, and ask what his story is. All right. Okay. Mr. Amazing, where'd you come from?
Oh, well, everybody, come, gather around. We have someone who doesn't know the origin of Mr. Amazing! And he's just completely Ginyu Force flexing all over the place. Just,
Genius Slim Jim.
yeah. Yeah. And so he stands up on the table and he says, "I was born to wealthy parents in the small countryside of Vermont. I grew up in a 4-story palatial mansion with many servants and everything I could ever want. And then one day I was held at gunpoint. The man demanded all of my money, and I gave it to him gladly. And then he shot me anyway. Right in the face. And that is when I learned that I was indestructible. Then, one day, while testing the limits of my indestructibility, I was jumping off of cliffs when suddenly I learned I could fly. Then, one day, well, particularly warm, I was blowing on something to cool it off, and I discovered I had freeze breath. And then, one day, well, I was running as fast as I could. I discovered that I had super speed. And on and on. And so basically, Everything in my life has been amazing. And so,
I see.
I am Mr. Amazing.
Okay, that was an amazing story, Mr. Amazing.
Of course it was! Ha 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 ha!
Question for you, Mr. Amazing.
Yes,
Do you like milk?
of course. Milk.
Gr-
It does a
great.
body good.
Great.
Remember, kids,
Perfect.
always drink a full glass of milk every day. Who,
All right.
Who
I
is
walk
he?
over to.
Who he talking to?
Well, okay, repeat. Who is that from?
Who's that? From?
Gator.
He's
Gator.
asking me who I'm talking to.
Gator wants to know who Mr. Amazing was talking to when he says, "Remember, kids, drink one full glass of milk a day."
I guess he was talking to everybody.
He just seems to be staring off at the wall.
Oh,
Gator is?
No,
Mr.
Mr. Amazing. Mr. Amazing is just kind of looking at the wall, saying, "Remember, kids," and he points right at it. Drink one full glass of milk every day.
We on the air or something? Is he speaking to a
Okay,
camera on the wall?
Yeah, look to see if
You
there's
look.
a
There's
camera.
no fucking camera.
Is this a reality show?
Have you ever tried thinking very hard, Mr. Amazing?
Well, I walk over to Steele and Orwell and I sort of whispered to them that we gotta watch out for this Mr. Amazing guy. He sounds like a
Tool.
problem.
A plant, a tool. Take your pick.
So we don't know why he was looking at the wall like that.
No, as far as you can tell, he was like doing an Andy Kaufman. Like performing for an audience that isn't there.
Well, the Steele and Orwell, I suggest that we how suspicious that was, and we should maybe try to get to the bottom of it to see. Did he mention? Yeah.
Yeah, let Orwell do his scans to see if he finds
Yeah.
anything.
You find no cameras, but you do detect electronic devices in all three of the heroes.
Hmm.
You can't identify them. You can't find them. But your electronic scanning, because you guys do have the Orwell box here, reveals that there are electronics.
So here's a question: the Mist fellow, does he give off the demeanor of Batman, like the stature of Batman, especially after Mementos, like how you brushed him off, kind of deal?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to assume anything, so I'm not going to say anything. So we're just along for the ride to get avoid headaches. But yeah, I don't got anything else for this evening. So if that's it,
Yeah, so okay,
uh,
you guys turn in?
yeah, I will say on the computer in the bedroom, see if what there are any articles about photon or mist.
Yeah. So there is one article about Mist, and it just talks about how he foiled a bank robbery. And there are several articles about Photon and a full double length spread of her in a magazine um, called hold on, let me think of this. Hottest Heroes. And it's got male and female heroes posing in like the skimpiest outfits.
Marvel swimsuit edition.
Yes. Correct. Yeah, no, they are still robophobic.
Do they have any Martians?
No. Martian Manhunter turned them down.
No. Oh,
Unsurprisingly, Booster Gold was featured.
of course he was. He sold his soul.
He don't care. Go ahead and look, baby. That's what it's there for.
That is so Booster Gold.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't wait to roleplay him if I ever get a chance to.
well,
That is the role I
about
was built for.
well, no, about the ones for Photon. Does this like say anything about her powers? Or about
No,
what's anything?
no
Okay.
mention of her powers.
Okay.
Yeah, Photon seems to be a bit of an enigma.
At the risk of sounding very creepy, if I get my hands on her, I might be able to give us some information.
Yeah. All right. Well, so you guys go to bed, and does anybody do anything special throughout the night, or?
Nah, I don't want to make a ruckus first night.
All right. So the android stands outside the bed quarters, waiting for anyone to ask for anything, and then yeah. So Orwell, you run the antivirus. When you power back on, it seems as though all instances of acceptable protocols that end with the death of a non-violent human is being replaced with um, you know other options, and you no longer have the ability to choose to end the life of anyone who has not become hostile.
Oh, Nightwing.
What? He just fixed a problem. No big deal. Yeehaw! Don't forget I'm here too, partners.
Who are you again?
I'm Dark Patriot.
I know who you are.
Oh, well, shit.
I'd like to
Since
know
you
how Dark
started talking
Patriot
to
is
me, I
doing the
might as
punch
well
test.
walk into your room and start talking to you.
I was just giving you a hard time, Dark Patriot.
You probably voted for President Johnson, didn't you? Psh, not my president.
No, I was actually still in hibernation, so no.
Oh, all right. You gonna vote?
Don't know yet. I don't even know if I'm still registered or not.
Oh, I imagine with these new fancy uh Hey, Orwell, get out of my room. What are you doing? Get Go on, robot. You get out there with the rest of the washing machines and hair dryers. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, we was talking about Dwayne Johnson. He ain't fit to lead this country. No, what we need is a real strong leader who's gonna return us to the age of glory back when we was great. Of course, you know I'm talking about Governor West.
I thought you was gonna say Mr. Amazing, but okay.
Hell no! Governor West is the only man fit to lead this country in this time of crisis.
What's Governor West's first name?
Pfft, come on. You know you're playing, right? You everybody knows Yeezus.
Is it Adam?
It's Kanye, fool.
I just cover my eyes and shake my head.
Kanye West is a genius.
If you say so.
Well, listen, partner, I need you to vote. We can't let Dwayne The Rock Johnson get 4 more years in the White House.
If you say so.
I do say
Wait, is
so.
he like
Here,
is he staging a coup right now?
take this sticker and this hat. And he gives you a hat that Kanye supporters wear. It's just got Kanye West stretched out like Jesus on a cross. That's all it is. It's just Kanye West stretched out like Jesus on a cross. But it's completely 3D. Like it's a molded 3D print of it, and it's black on black, so you can't even fucking see it.
Oh well, with that dark patron, I think I want to turn in and rest my sore body.
Yeah, vote Jesus.
Oh damn!
Orwell's just like, this is for sure the darkest timeline. The candidates are The Rock and Kanye West.
Give me some good news, Orwell.
Yeah, and right now he's the governor of Texas.
Oh damn!
That's all right. The Rock was a senator from California before that, before he became president.
Okay.
But you're probably not going to you know like some of the other things going on.
That's good news, Orwell. Thank you. I'm going to retire for this evening. So yeah, we can
Like
move
for
on.
instance, you know how there needed to be a Supreme Court justice named?
Oh damn!
Well, you'll be happy to know that it wasn't Kavanaugh.
Mr. Enigma.
No, no. Instead, the Supreme Court Justice welcomed its newest member. Money,
Christian
money, money,
Bale.
money, money. And then McMahon comes doing the McMahon strut out.
Okay.
And he just sits at the bench just raging, you know, and just doing the McMahon raging and spitting and yeah.
This dystopia started before Superman died.
Yeah, agree.
Can we have a second Doomsday? Who are we working on resurrecting him? That's why we teamed up with Lex, right? Like we're here to resurrect Doomsday and get this party like kicked off. In fact, if we can make a perfect clone or whatever, can we just make like 10 right away? Just
Oh, so yeah, let's move on.
just so that you guys know there is going to be an election.
Oh, of
And
course.
and either The Rock or Kanye West is going to win.
Oh, jeez.
Great.
Yeah, all of a sudden there's 100 million votes for Orwell. Oh,
I
ever
don't know if
since they
that's
went to
good.
electronic voting, I don't know what happened.
I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's better. All right. So, we can move on to next day. I don't have
You
anything
are
else
not a
unless
U.S. citizen. You do not have United States citizenship. You are considered property of Henry Hayward III.
Do not tell Dark Patriot that.
No, that's me.
Oh. Well, still, not being a citizen would make Dark Patriot very angry.
No, he's a robot. He's probably glad he's not considered. He's a
That's
darn
true.
robot.
So yeah, anyway, some other, interesting things about this world that you guys might want to know is that there is no coronavirus. It's 2020, but like the good 2020.
Okay, good. Yeah, Doomsday is the good 2020. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like, okay, for instance, both Tom Petty and Prince are still alive in this world.
Okay.
So they got that going for them. Yeah, you know. So anyway, you guys wake up the next morning bright and early, and Memento, you have college classes. Dark Patriot has college classes. Blink, I'm pretty sure, has classes. Prosperity would have classes. And Gator has classes. So Steele and Orwell, you guys are left to kind of train the morning away while you guys wait for everybody else because they're going to evaluate you guys as a group now. So you guys are kind of left to do what you want. So what do you do what you want for the morning?
Well, since I can't leave, um, I guess check the LexCorp security team protocols.
Yeah, so they have like a manual and it's a lot of, boilerplate standard stuff, as far as um, how you work together safely, who you report to, how you fill out, comprehensive reports. It's got instructions for like, where you can go and what areas are off limits. It's got all kinds of information about like the different levels of passes and who can go where. It's got all kinds of information about like the hierarchy of LexCorp security and who has authority over who in which departments and um so it's all just a whole lot of that. And then as you're reading through it, I assume you're capable of speed reading?
No, but
No? Steel can't
nope.
speed read with all his cyborg parts?
It wasn't installed.
Jeez, what a crappy cyborg. Orwell, can we get some upgrades on this? So anyway, you're reading through it and it takes you like a long time, so you haven't gotten to the end yet.
Okay, it just passed the time till they're done with their classes.
Yeah, and Orwell, the LexCorp software like is very user friendly, unless you're trying to hack into it. If you're trying to hack into it, then all of a sudden you find yourself having to roll a will check. All right, so it doesn't happen, but you feel the backlash of a security. Um, it's essentially like a antivirus program uh, that works by anything that tries to connect illegally or unauthorized to the database uh, is essentially counter virused and overloaded so that it shuts down. Yeah, but you can tell that like you can't try anymore today because like now it's activated. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. So as everybody is getting out of their classes, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So they give you an hour break for lunch, and everybody is once again gathering around the table for lunch.
So these other heroes here, they aren't in classes, right?
No, they're not in classes. Well, Photon is.
Do I have any classes with her?
Yeah, you guys had chemistry together.
Oh boy. Um, then I'm gonna go up and be. I'll ask her, "What'd you think of that chemistry teacher?"
Oh yeah, Mr. Maynard, he's the best. Sugar.
Okay. Hmm. I pretend to laugh as if she's so funny and try to put my hand on her shoulder as like a ha, knock it off kind of gesture.
Your hand goes right through her shoulder, and she goes, "Oh, Ma, what are you doing?" And she runs
Oh
away.
no. All right, I walk over to the rest of the guys and I explain what just happened, that I tried to read her powers and apparently I went through her.
That was not cool, Memento. Around here, we touch people after we've been given permission.
I will keep that in mind. I was just trying to be friendly.
You wouldn't like it if I just started touching you without permission, would you?
Actually, go ahead.
He gives you a slight little tap and sends you flying into the cubicle up against the computer, smashing the computer to pieces. Roll a toughness versus 20 damage. You're okay, but
Learned my lesson.
What the hell, amazing?
yes, well, I hope we've all learned a lesson here.
That you are a jerk and punched a fellow?
I didn't punch him.
Okay, you used the force as a punch.
I touched him on the chest.
Fine.
Yes, I know it's fine. Listen, pal, I don't think you quite understand the hierarchy around here.
There is one.
Yeah. It goes me, Mist, Photon, the androids, the computers, the toilets, the shit in the toilets, and then you.
That's not very amazing, Mr. Amazing. That's not very nice.
Simpsons did it. South Park did it. Yeah, so Mr. Amazing's like right in your face making sure that you understand that he's in charge around here.
I'm like, you can believe whatever you want to believe in that little pea brain of yours, Mr. Amazing.
Oh,
He says, "Whoa, friend, let's not get off on the wrong foot here." And he reaches out his hand to shake your hand.
Considering how you treat him a Memento, let's not. And you're not my friend at this moment because you assaulted Memento.
Are you not man enough to shake my hand?
Do you really want to be in this pissing contest, Mr. Amazing?
Yeah.
Of course you are. So we'll shake and I squeeze as hard as I can.
Okay. Yeah, so you start squeezing really, really hard. Go ahead and roll your strength.
Well, like if he's not resisted at all, but I figured he was.
No, no, no. But no, no, keep squeezing. Because even though he's not resisting, it's also having zero effect. You keep squeezing. The harder you squeeze, the more it just feels like you're gripping something harder than steel. Something, you can put an indent in steel if you grip it hard enough. Mr. Amazing's hand is just sitting there, and he's not even squeezing back. He's not grimacing. He's nothing. He's just holding his hand out there and letting you squeeze it until you are like trying as hard as you can, just because like you can't even understand what's happening here, and before you realize it, you're gripping with two hands and just squeezing as hard as you can, and it doesn't even like nothing.
Impressive.
And he just looks at you and smiles and says, "Well, I think we've made everything clear today."
Yeah, it's instructional.
I believe it was. Well, my friend, be well. And he puts a hand on your shoulder and like doesn't even put any pressure on it. He just puts it there with like the understanding that without a doubt, if he wanted to, he could just flex his hand and he'd have you gripped beyond death grip. Toodaloo! Well, 2 down, 1 to go. You gonna chase Mist off now?
This is your turn, Orwell.
You guys are like, this is our table. Get out of our chairs.
We're bullying the other superheroes. I did something that made Photon run away. Steel and Mr. Amazing just got in a confrontation. So we prompted you to bully Mist. Try to just continue the chain.
Yeah, apparently you guys are the bad guys.
Yeah, apparently. We're not very nice to these people. But we're learning more about their powers, which is what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Steel still wants to be the good guy. He is also the one who signed you up to work with LexCorp.
Uh-huh.
You scan Mist. No known elevated levels of anything. Slightly elevated levels of testosterone detected.
Suspense is killing me. That took quite the turn. He's no longer wanting to kill people, but Orwell is still, there's something up with him.
Maybe it was that antivirus software that we gave you.
Yeah. Turned him into a pervert.
I guess that's better than a killer.
After a while of just staring at him, Mist stands up and begins to walk away.
All right. He-
Does he look like he has a utility belt similar to Batman's, like that kind of getup?
He has several gadgets and gizmos on him.
Obvious.
Hey, that's Mr. Mist to you.
Okay.
We're gonna high five each other.
And with that, he just walks away. So you guys have like a whole bunch of training and everything else that you do for the rest of the day, but is there anything that you guys do, personally before we call it a session?
He keeps asking us that, so I feel like we should go do a certain thing.
No, I'm just making sure that I've covered any downtime that you guys want to take advantage of.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna pick up next session with you guys having completed your training and, getting ready for missions.
I can't think of anything I'd like to do.
All right. Well, then the next week passes rather quickly as you guys complete your training, and one of the androids comes to you at the end and says, "Gentlemen, if you would please follow me. Mr. Luthor would like to see you." And with that, we draw to a close. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you anyone for watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.